You may have seen welcome mats around the internet, but there is some confusion between a welcome mat and a full screen web page. So then there's sites like Instagram where there's a full screen call to action. This is pretty much all you can do on Instagram if you don't have an account, at least from their homepage. There's some stuff down here, but for the most part, it's just sign up for a new account. So it's the same with Spotify here. You can see they generally have pretty large spread up here that gets you to either sign up for free or get the premium version. But then there's an arrow that can bring you down to more content, like what Spotify does for people that don't know. So that's where the difference is. A welcome mat is not a full page screen like this when you come to the home page. A welcome mat generally shows up. A welcome mat usually shows up when you visit any page on the site, like say the blog, and it actually pops down. But rather than me try to explain it, I'm going to show you that in action on this website. So I have to open a private tab here because it only shows up the first time you go to it. So you'll see this pop down thing comes up and takes up the entire screen, and you can either say no thanks or click the arrow and it'll bring you to the content, and then that disappears. You can't even scroll up and see it anymore. And then when you go to other pages, it also doesn't show up again. So that's actually a good implementation of it because it's not too intrusive. It only shows up the first time, and also I tested it on a mobile device and it does not pop up at all, which is great because those welcome mats are extremely burdensome when you're on a slow internet connection and a small screen. They're hard to dismiss, they're annoying, you just want to get to the content. So a lot of times I'll personally just back up and go back to a different page. If it slows down my browser that much, then I'm going to leave. So that's a good implementation of them, and that's kind of what I recommended on a previous blog post. You can click that up in the corner. There are some things you have to keep in mind when implementing a welcome mat. AppSumo, I think, is the first ones that created a plugin for WordPress that makes it easy to do, and that's what that's what this article is all about, kind of getting you towards what they claim the highest converting page ever. So there are some things you have to keep in mind with that though, and that's why I recommend testing first, because they can maybe increase your email list signups, but at the same time they could increase your bounce rate. So people are running into an annoying call to action and they're not seeing the content they're looking for. They're more likely to leave. So you may overall reduce your overall conversion rates on those pages. Again, that's not guaranteed, just like creating the highest converting page isn't guaranteed. So it would really require testing and feedback from your users, because you don't want to end up chasing away new people that are just visiting your site for the first time. So again, they make claims like 32.86% conversion. That's awesome. There are other simple things you can do that won't affect your bounce rate, but will also help your conversion. So if you go to the Exprance website and you're on one of the blog posts there, you'll notice a call to action pops up down here. You can download the free ebook. So it's all in line, easy to do. It's not too intrusive and dismisses and goes away. There's also a call to action on the right hand side right here, subscribe, so that people can subscribe, and then again the ebook right here. So it's not intrusive, you still get the content right when you land on the page, not a lot of distractions to the content. And then there's also inline, many of my blog posts have inline calls to action, so things like getting the online presence report or signing up for the email list or even getting a quote. But at the end of each blog post, and only the blog posts, you'll see another subscribe call to action. So that's helpful in bringing people to the email list too. And then probably one of the easiest ways to grow your subscriber list is when people fill out any kind of other contact form, include an easy option. If they've included their email, include an easy option like this email me tips to help grow my business online. They can just check that and it will subscribe them to the email list. That's pretty easy. And that's a really helpful way to make it easy, but just don't pre-select it, because then people might get angry if you're trying to subscribe them to stuff that they didn't want to be. Make it opt-in only. They should have to select that button. So there's some good suggestions there. The welcome mat, again, might be a good option for you, but it might not. So it requires a great deal of testing. So go out there and test it for yourself. See if it works. See if it doesn't decrease your bounce rate too much. There's a lot of other options that you can put calls to action on your website without being too intrusive to visitors. So I would recommend trying those first. And if you really want to explore into the welcome mat, then enjoy, but do your testing. All right, thanks for watching. Now that you've checked out an Exprance video to help you expand your small business online presence, be sure to subscribe so you can watch more videos as they come out. Or you can check out the ebook that will help you grow your email list without even having a website in case you don't have one. Or you could check out another video.